Greetings, Mega Man fans, and welcome back to the Mega Man Rock Force LPA. In this episode, we will be taking on Crypt Man, the spokesman of the rebellion. Hopefully put a bit of a dent in what little political power they may have. And maybe take his cloak. His cloak looks fancy and I want it. He has a fairly interesting stage here. I see his mug on the temple there. The aesthetic here is probably the least Mega Man-like, but that's fine. The stage was actually the first one developed for the game. In fact, it was made back before the game was being made in Game Maker. And the music here, I think, is a remix of one of the intro songs. And the Taker, our first enemy type. You line up with it, and the giant hand will shoot out and attempt to grab you. Oh, even though really all it does is just hurt you. Originally, it was instant death, and it was also originally a lot bonier. That has changed on both aspects. Also, extra lives. A quick thing about them: if you have full lives, they serve as complete heal instead. A very nice touch. Wish more games did that. Anyway, earlier was a Jones robot. A robot that normally comes down from a rope until it either reaches the ground or you shoot it, and then it will just walk back and forth along the area it's chosen. Right here is a pit rod. The game's up and down enemies, which are clearly denoted by the blinking light that's present in any pits they reside. Also, there are barriers in this game, so we will have a weapon that breaks them. Fortunately, you don't actually need to use the weapon at any point. Alright. Oh! Bombs. Yeah, those pipe things, they drop bombs. And as you saw, you can just kind of slide and completely miss this very first pipe right here, which is meant to serve as the introduction. I freely admit that was my fault for not catching the fact that you could just kind of skip there. If there was like an enemy like right here or so, something to deter the player from sliding, that would probably help the intro immensely. Maybe stick like one of the enemies that pops up later, a Digger Dan right there. Oh, I didn't mean to snipe that Jones robot there. Oh well. This stage has a lot more focus on platforming than some of the other stages do. Some of the other ones have a lot more gimmick use, but that's fine. There's enough gimmick use that this doesn't just feel like some slugfest. Believe me, I've played enough slugfest stages to know that they don't usually work well. And that is a bubble bat. Besides being a little faster, it peeks out a moment or two before actually flying at you. And right here is Digger Dan and Buzzard Bombers. Digger Dan is a grave robber that throws rocks at you. Buzzard Bombers are these flying vulture buzzard things that drop bombs on your head. Also, Digger Dan, if you get far enough away from him, is content to simply go back down and continue his grave robbing antics instead of throwing rocks at you. Ow, I got rocked. Alright. Let's keep going. That first Buzzard Bomber section really isn't that bad. No, it's the second one that proves quite challenging. Alright, you, wake up. Ah, random fireball from nowhere. Except not really. Meet Cerberus. He is the mid-boss. He's the mid-boss of the level. Not very difficult, in fact it's fairly easy to dispatch. His attack is basically one of his three heads, whichever will shoot a fireball at you, constantly. And it randomizes which head it's fired from, although I find that doesn't have too much of an effect. More bombs! And Jones robots. I will note that the Taker never shows up after that initial run in the stage. Not a terribly bad thing. I suppose it is kind of a pity. Also, you really shouldn't be standing right here when that bubble bat wakes up. Chances are it's gonna hit you. Given these things speed, particularly since I think they're faster horizontally than they are vertically, it is better to get away from them. And I just got... Wow, and I just tanked that Cerberus's fireball with my face. Truly, I am the greatest Mega Man player in the history of everything. Beautiful. And now we're coming up to the most difficult part of the stage. Hooray, difficulty curves. Careful of the spike. And oh good, the buzzer bombers are back. I never know when it's safe or not with these things flying around. Oh, that could have killed me. That should have. Oh, I made it out. Oh gosh, that was all really, really close. And a demonstration of 1-ups healing you if you have full lives, or infinite lives as the case may be. I cannot believe I tanked that bomb. And one last sticker dam before the boss door, with spiked ceiling so you can't just jump as easily. Not a bad stage at all. I quite like this one. A fairly hefty focus on platforming, but that's obviously fine. I really can't complain, besides that one introduction that I can kind of just slide through, but then my own fault for not noticing it despite the sheer amount of testing I've done for this game. Anyway, tally-ho! It's Crypt Man time. Oh, well that's awfully nice of you. Never mind, you die now. Okay. If he puts his cape in front of himself like that, he's going for his dash attack. Otherwise, if he's airborne, be prepared for his, for him to jump and launch shockwaves. Oh boy. Whew, that was kind of clutch at the end there, but I did it! Anyway, Crypt Man has 4 attacks. He has that cape dash, where if he has his cloak in front of him, he's invincible. He can teleport and then use the cloak dash, which he never teleports on top of you, so staying still and waiting for him to appear is a good tactic. Don't stand in the middle, the left, or the right when he teleports, though, as he can also use that teleport jump attack, and those 3 spots are where he can appear. If he does the teleport jump attack, he'll do it twice. He'll do the jump twice in a row before moving to a different attack. And finally, he had that double jump attack that is honestly his most dangerous ability, since it's the one that is a little less predictable. He seems to jump right towards you, but he can only go so far. Anyway. And we've rescued Nightman. Yay! I like Nightman. He's one of my favorites in terms of personality. And we get equipped with this Crypt Cloak. Enemies that detect you don't operate properly, as in they don't detect you, and you launch shockwaves when you land that appear to be piercing. We also got one of the 4 perfect beat parts. Perfect Runner Robot Master, you get a beat part. If you get all 4 of them, you unlock beat. Notably, the intro fight with Shockman will not give you a beat part. That's how easy he is. Anyway, one final thing left to show. Since we've rescued him, we can now play as Nightman. Yes, all of the Rock Force in the most recent version of the game have been made playable. this adds an extra ton of replay value to the game, since, well, I'm sure I'm not the only one who expects there will be people doing Rock Force runs all over the place. Would actually be kinda neat if you could run them through the intro stage and everything, but oh well. Anyway, let's just go show off Nightman for a moment. Nightman? He's big, kinda slow, has his own jump sound. His weapon, the Night Crush, has two different angles it can fire in. The regular fire, and if you hold up. He's a bit tricky to use. If your timing is off, expect to regret it. Fortunately, his shield can block shots, but only if the shot actually hits his shield. Hit him in the face or on the foot, he still takes damage. He's a tricky one to use well, since you can leave yourself quite open for attack. That being said, though, he is certainly not a bad character. I find he's particularly effective in dealing with bosses. If I recall right, he does 2 points of damage to every boss, at least every one of the 8 Robot Masters, instead of only doing 1 point. The exception, of course, being the Robot Master who's weak to him. They will take even more damage from him. Remembering the playable character weakness order can be fun, and dang it, charade! Drama. Anyway. So, on that note, I've shown everything to show for this round. Dapper Charade is best charade. So, for the next episode, we'll be going to a level that's just a bit faster paced. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Until the next one, goodbye!